Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today for our budget update video. You're probably wondering why this budget update video is coming out at this time of the year. But this year we want to do something slightly differently, because as we thought about how most families do their budget, most families do their budget in December to kind of get the year started. And so this is why they'll be telling you about the budget for the year.
Yeah, we'd love, as you're doing your budget, to think about your capacity to give, of course, in light of your family and financial circumstances. But I would love you to consider the needs of your church family as you're working on your budget as well.
That's right. So Paul, how about you tell us a bit about the highlights for the year?
Yeah. So it's been a tough year, hasn't it? We've come out of COVID. The last 2 years we've been in COVID and small churches, which has been a blessing in a lot of ways. We've learned a lot, haven't we, over the last 2 years? Remember, we did that review a few months ago, made some tough decisions. Birong and Chinese Church remain, which is fantastic, praise God. But we formed the hub back here again, which was tough, but praise God, I think it's going wonderfully. I've really enjoyed it. Hey, tell us what's been a highlight for you about the hub?
Yeah, I think for me, one of the highlights is actually the way that we gather and the way that we interact with each other. As we kind of think that even the way that we're sitting and the fact that we get morning tea during service actually encourages us all to interact and actually serve each other, not just at lunch, but actually all throughout the time that we're together. We're constantly serving each other, we're constantly interacting with each other and encouraging each other. That's actually really amazing.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with that. And even the values that we're seeing played out in our church gathering, I like the fact that they're kind of still pushing us out. They're pushing us to go, well, we need to send churches, we send people out to see the nations transformed by Jesus. And I mean, that leads me to my highlight for the year has been seeing people come to know Jesus for the first time. We've had around 10 or so people become Christians, and I love seeing baptisms. It's definitely a highlight of the year.
Yeah, definitely. Praise God for those baptisms. But as you kind of think about the year that's gone, finances is a big part of church as well. So maybe let's switch gears and we talk about the numbers for the past year. I'm not going to bore you with lots of numbers, I just want to call out a couple of key highlights. The first one that I would call out is we've actually run at a loss of $50,000 in 2022. And that's a lot of money. And there's a couple of key factors to that. First one is offertories actually declined quite significantly over the past couple of years. Since COVID has started, our offertories actually declined by 30%. And that's the first thing. The second thing is, I'm not sure many of you know, but 25% of our offertory actually comes from people who actually no longer come to our church. They're people who used to church with us, but they've left and gone to other churches for various reasons, but they still decide to financially contribute and support us. But for, if you kind of think about the year ahead, some of those people have actually told us that they will stop giving in the new year as they kind of think about their own churches as well. And I guess the second factor that's contributing to the loss is, as you kind of think about the weather for the past year, there's caused lots of damages to lots of places, and church is no different. And so we've had to invest quite a fair bit into repairing the property so that it's fit for purpose. And the third thing is actually ministry has actually increased. As you kind of look at ministry activity has actually increased quite a lot over the past year. And that's actually meant our ministry expense has also gone up. And so all those factors together has actually meant that we've been running at a loss of $50,000 in 2022. And so that's kind of 2022 in a wrap. Hey Paul, how about you tell us what's happening in 2023?
Yeah, there's lots happening in 2023. We're excited for a steady year, but also lots of plans. Let me just give you three. One is we're hoping to form a group of Vietnamese Christians from here at church to just begin to pray, begin to share Christ, begin to plan about how maybe 2024 and beyond we might be able to plant a Vietnamese church. So that's exciting. There's lots of training going to happen, very practical, on-the-job training if you like. Wayne's got lots of different things. How to share Jesus with your friends at work, marriage, parenting, seminars, learning different cultures and religions to help us engage with people around here. And thirdly, we want to put together actually a cross-cultural church planting internship. That's just a fancy way of saying we want to be equipped, again, for 2024 and beyond, to be able to raise up Christian leaders who speak their own language to send them out to be planting churches. So there's a few highlights. There's lots of other things happening, but there's some of the highlights.
Cool, thanks, Paul. That's all really exciting. But I want to switch gears for a little moment to talk about the budget for the new year. So I won't bore you with lots of numbers for the new year. You can refer to the document attached to this email as you read this video for further details. But I just want to give you highlights for the year. So from a financial perspective, we're again expecting to be running at a loss, and in 2023 we're expecting a loss of $43,000 if Offertree does not increase. We've made significant effort to actually reduce our expenses. We've cut out quite a lot of expenses to mitigate that loss, but really even with that effort it still means that we're expecting a loss of $43,000. And so what we really need is for Offertree to increase by $43,000 for us to break even.
Yeah, okay. So we'd love for you to consider giving generously to the need of our church family to see the gospel go out. Hasty, can you just tell us what are the ways that we might be able to give to church?
Yeah, so I'm not sure, you might know this already, but there's 3 key ways that you can give to the church. First one is you can give cash on Sundays. We collect cash on Sunday at church. The second one is you can give via direct transfers. So head to our website, chesthillanglicanchurch.com, and click the give button and you'll see our bank account details there. And the third one, which is actually probably the easiest one, is to actually set up direct transfers with your credit or debit card. And you can again do this by clicking the give button on our website, and there'll be details there to show you how to do that.
Fantastic. Well, we look forward to seeing how God might use us in 2023 and beyond. Thanks, Nathan.
Sounds great. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, everyone.